Hey everybody. So I still haven't heard anything from Siri, so I'm going to assume that he is not casting this, and I'm basically just gonna wait for them to get in lobby, and then we'll get going in however many minutes I'm in contact with Bandit B17 from Marine Max. So guessing we'll be underway in about 10 or 15 minutes. Until then, just chill out. I'll be back in a bit.
User joined your channel. User left your channel. You were moved.
Nope. Okay. I am here, sorry. Traffic on the way back was utterly terrible. Are you casting with me? Oh, okay. You want to go ahead, like, if you got all the overlays already set up, and roll with that. Okay. Oh, you already did it, Sears? Okay. Okay, give me like 1 minute. I do, yeah. Give me like 1 minute before you call me.
And for those of you wondering, you're talking, you're not saying anything. I'm talking to Siri. Siri's here, and everything's good, and we're gonna have stuff ready. Gonna be two of us casting. Still not in lobby from Bandit B17, so we probably got a few minutes going in here. So sit tight, get ready to win some free mech bays. Again, the code word's always gonna be no pants for me, so get ready.
Okay, I'm good to go. He already called you, Bill. Mm-hmm. Way ahead of you. That's what I need at the minute, so I can make you look bad. Okay.
Hey, wake up.
Alright, I'm back. I got a shirt.
Your,
if I can just tie this tie.
I'm watching the stream. Your mic is muted. It wasn't
Yeah,
muted.
it's. I just turned it on now, so. In 5 minutes, people will be able to hear me. They are in lobby right now, so we'll be getting started in just a few minutes. For anybody just tuning in, this is Major League Mech Warrior Week 1 Marine Mechs versus Stratagame Mercenary Coalition and Affiliates. This is the last of the Week 1 matches. We've casted plenty of others. Go check them out on our past history. I think NGNG also did one last night, so another good place to check.
Want to do a quick recap of last night's matches? Because I missed those.
Yeah, alright. Let me look at the bracket here. I actually didn't see a couple of them, and Mag forgot to set up archiving on his new account. I did not watch the NG one either, unfortunately, but sorry, just getting my eye fixed here. Okay, let's check this out. So this week, Isengrim defeated Phoenix Company. We casted that, me and Heim, last night. Great set of matches. Isengrim took that 2-0. Literally looks like they've been practicing, so excited to see what they're doing next week against Imperial. Seraphim Rising Storm won 2-0 over Intex. I believe that's the one that Mag casted. Restless Adder took it over Apocalypse Lancers. That was our kickoff match for Major League Mech Warrior. And Restless Adder, it was 3 really messy brawls. And Restless Adder just ended up taking it out better. And Tikhonov Commonality versus Ransom Corsairs. Didn't get a chance to see that match or how that went, but Tikhonov ended up taking the win over Ransom's Corsairs. Comstar Regulars, just a half hour ago, took the victory over Death's Hand Brigade. Comstar Regulars looks like they've been putting in some time. They really had a game plan and knew what the hell they were doing. So That was good. Inferno Express upset Night Watch Merc Coalition, and I believe that was on the NGNG stream. Didn't get a chance to watch those games yet, but I'll bet that was an interesting set. I'll have to do that afterwards. Mercstar Turret Drops also took it over Second Federated Suns. Nobody got a chance to cast those matches. I'm sorry, guys. Mercstar Turret Drops and Second Federated Suns, you guys will have priority casting next week if they're doubled up matches. So, sorry about that. We will get to you this week. So, this is the last match. Siri, any thoughts on either of these teams? Any experience with them?
I believe SJR has played Marine Max in the 4v4 format, but I was not in that, so I cannot comment on sort of what was seen there. And I can't really infer much from the score because, well, it's hard when you're going up against one of the oldest teams around and one of the most experienced teams, so unfortunately, no, I don't think I have any personal experience with either of these.
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm looking at my roster here after I changed the stream name, but I don't see a whole lot of familiar names. I've definitely seen Bandit B-17, Marine Mech's Drop Commander, and Captain, whatever, in Pug matches, but aside from that, not a whole lot. Okay, so they're in lobby now. I expect we'll be dropping in a couple minutes. For those that don't know the rules, Major League Mech Warrior, 10-minute matches. First drop on Conquest, 3 lights, 3 mediums, 3 heavies, 3 assaults. And second match, 720 tons, skirmish. And third drop back to Conquest, 3-3-3-3. It's basically meant to prevent stalemates and encourage quick gameplay. Still haven't seen a team try to play Conquest on this map. I sort of don't think we're going to be seeing it here either. So, okay. Just making sure they haven't dropped in on us, but still in lobby, so good enough. Stream name's changed. Good.
Do we have a map tactic?
Oh, right, yeah. I should probably link you to that, huh?
Yes, please.
Okay. Alright, just link that to you. And I should probably get that up on screen instead of the standby stuff. Alright, good to go.
Okay. So the drop order is Conquest, Skirmish, Conquest, correct?
Yeah,
Is
Conquest,
the other way
Skirmish, Conquest.
Mm-hmm.
So the first
I mean,
round
is
not going to be a draw, and the second one forces the loser of the first round to push. But they also get to select the map side for that round, losing team.
Right.
So
It's also significant to note that this is Frozen City. This is one of the smallest ones in the book. And I've only watched the one that was, I believe, Restless Adder's match, but that was an all-out brawl. And that's pretty much to be expected, I think, given the size here, given the fact that caps aren't really going to be a factor for the first one. I know during, like, Run Hot or Die, when we have the modified King of the Hill, we've been seeing a lot of teams go down to the C6, B6 area and just hold out there and have, like, a come-at-me, bro stance. But we're not going to be seeing that during the first game because, well, all 5 cap points are in play. Obviously, you can go and hold Theta, but you're giving up the other 4, so rip you. But I mean, it's an option on the second match that if you are the team that's up, then you might decide, okay, we're just going to bring a firing line of death and just sit like far back down in that gully and just out-trade them whenever they peek their heads out. And I don't expect that to happen, though, because like Bill said, the team that's down gets the choice of which side they have, and it would show a real lack of research, a real lack of understanding of the map if you were to give your opponent, when they're ahead, the south side of this map, because the south side is the one that has easy access down to the gully, whereas north side, spawning up by Sigma and Kappa, they don't get there in time to prevent it. So
Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen any teams sort of take that route down there. Basically, it's either been a smash at Ridge, where it's just a huge push over. Saw, who was it? I'm totally brain farting on the team. Phoenix Company, right. Phoenix Company versus Eisen. They sort of went down to the city where Pugs are doing right now, sort of that C5, B5 corner, or C4, B5 corner down there in the city, and they just got pigeonholed in a bad position because it's not a great place to be, unfortunately. Haven't seen any mechs try to take advantage of Theta, really. In last night's match, I did see Phoenix Company vie for the cap points a little bit on the exhibition drop when it did. Ooh, I think we might be in. Yes. Go ahead and launch on Bandit B17. No spaces.
mine's still showing it as lobby.
Because I'm connecting right now.
Yay, fun.
BANDIT B17.
Oh, there we go. Mine was
Yep,
just a slow
okay.
update. Okay.
Hasn't
loading
started yet, so we're good. We got it on time.
Excellent.
Thank you, PGI, so much for fixing the friends list jumping around. It made things almost impossible.
Overlay.
Oh, God, you saved me. You were magic. Thank you, Siri. Oh, man. Okay, so we've got Marine mechs down here on the south side. It looks like a Stalker, an Atlas, and a Dire Wolf. They've got Hunchbacks, 2 Hunchbacks and a Stormcrow. They've got a Thunderbolt, Timberwolf, 2 Timberwolves, and 3 Firestarters. So a pretty diverse deck from them. Looks like they're all heading up to Ridge with mediums going through the tunnel. So something sneaky could be going on here.
And Pedebra's Spider should be seeing all of these assaults moving up. He's jump jetting around the dropship, so they should have a good scout, and they're just moving up in force to...
And those mediums are not going to be here for the fight. Again, it's going to be sort of like that match I just casted where I don't think the flanking maneuver is going to show up in time, and here it goes. Battle Masters push over.
They're a little staggered on their push. They got guys coming in behind, but it almost doesn't matter with all of those mediums out of the fight.
Yeah.
This is a quick engagement, 1 down from each side, and lots of damage going out.
Yeah, it's a real brawl here, and the mediums are... Oh, man, the mediums in back. They got 4 people away from this brawl. They're about to come to the fight in about 10 seconds now. Let's get on some cockpits and see what's going on.
And they're actually making a decent go of it. It's 4 down for Marine Mechs, and actually 4 down for Strata Game. So despite that early overmatch, Marine Mechs is hanging in there pretty good.
Lots of brawl, lots of small pulse lasers, lots of SRMs here.
I mean, those mediums are now in the fight, so it's evened up, and they've got the backs on some of them. But 6 mechs now down for Marine Mechs, to 5 mechs down for Strata Game. 7th mech for Marine Mechs dropping quickly, but...
This is a tight
wow, they're
brawl.
pulling it back. It's 5 aside. 5 aside.
I feel like the flanking group might actually take this. Let's get on NetLab, or NetTab, whatever it is.
One thing to note here is that Spectacular and the Firestarter 9A and Mad Gunner for Marine Mechs, they're going to be doing just ridiculous amounts of damage with those small pulses. They're currently contending against an Oxide. That goes down quickly. It's a Firestarter 9S and a Spider left for... I'm sorry, I'm calling out the wrong way around. Strata Mercor is down to 2. Marine Mechs still have 4 up.
I think Marine Mechs is going to take this out. This flanking group full of small pulse lasers is going to be the deciding factor. They didn't time it right, but the main group held out long enough.
Like, I straight up got my red-blue confused. Whoops.
Yeah, it is kind of difficult. I really wish they had tags on the names or something. But yeah, that was a straight up brawl, really messy. There wasn't a lot of focus fire there beyond the first one. I think one of those Battle Masters went down really early for yes, sure enough, Helmo in that lead Battlemaster only getting 64 damage. They put him down really quick the minute he got over the ridge. Marine Mechs did a good job receiving that and getting someone down early, and I think that the rest of their team bought enough time for that flanking group of Hunchbacks and Lights to come back and win it for them.
I mean, that's sort of what I was commenting on as that push went off, was that it was kind of straggled out. You had like the Battlemasters going over first, then you have some heavies in behind, and like your mediums were like a good 150 meters in behind that. So they had like that overmatch, but by coming over the ridge just sort of like 3-4 at a time, it allowed Marine Mechs, despite having the numeric disadvantage, they had the benefits of an established firing line, and they actually had a decent concave there. Like after Furium's Atlas DDC goes down with 34 damage, most of the other mechs were able to just pick and target out, and
yeah, and looking
after
at the
that,
damage
like
spread,
after that initial advantage, and those mediums getting into the fight, that was enough to pull it back, and that's, you know, normally that's something we don't see when you have such a hard overmatch.
yeah, that was. I do think you're right that that initial push just could have been executed a little bit better and put Marine Mechs at a heavier disadvantage than they were without those 4 mechs. I think that having those 4 mechs out of the fight for 30 seconds or so almost should have been a death sentence for Marine Mechs, but they received the push well, and Stratagame just got a little bit strung out and didn't quite focus fire like they needed to there. I'm going to pull up my friends list, make sure we don't miss the next one.
One thing I did get a chance to completely look into before things died was just what sort of loadouts they were running. Like, I think I saw some SRMs, but then we also had, like, from Marine Mechs, there were Stalker 4Ns and such, so...
I saw lots of small pulse and lots of SRMs, honestly, from both teams, but Marine Mechs especially, that Hunchback 4P with 9 small pulse. Just all sorts of small pulse on that flanking group, particularly.
That's a little bit of an unusual loadout for 4P. The small pulses over, you know, medium lasers. But I suppose it fits the map and, like, the style that people have been playing here. Like, that's also another thing, like, I didn't get a good chance to see if it happened, but when those mediums came in behind, there's the very good possibility that they caught, like, one of those straggling Strata Merc Corps mechs, just with their back facing them, and with those, like, 2 5-star 9As, the Hunchback 4Ps, they could have just chewed up his back armor, cored him straight out, and got in a quick kill. I'm actually going to be watching the replay here to see if that happened.
Yeah, I do believe they caught somebody out behind Ridge from Stratagame, and they put him down, because I did see that flanking group delayed even a little bit more than I thought they would, because they were chasing something.
Another interesting choice here is, like, the Battlemaster 1Ss, they're...
Definitely.
They're not things you normally see, and I'm watching again, and, like, their medium lasers, their SRMs is what they brought. And yeah, that first one over, he got focus fired, like, his legs, he's got Direwolves, Timberwolves, and, like, the Stalkers just took his legs out before he got more than, like, 50 meters off that bridge. And that's really, really good focus fire.
It was. I was surprised to see that Battlemaster go down. I thought it was going to be sort of the other way, but no. They did a really nice job picking that first target and putting it down just like they needed to. I can see on Map Tech to have sort of drawn what happened here, but it was basically just a big furball. With that flanking group coming in a little bit late, and it pulled it out for them.
The other thing is we probably could just, like, save that furball and put it up after most of our matches on this map. I love the map, I love that it's brawling, but I am looking forward to an extent to, like, some of the other ones that have, like, other subtleties and rotations that you can pull out. And I mean, part of it is the map design, that, like, the center of this map is pinched in so much, the dropship. Like, you saw it with the tunnel this match. I don't know if it's been used on any of the previous matches that we've done, but the tunnel just takes you out of the fight for so long. And, like, you're sending mediums in there, what happens if there's, like, a single direwolf covering the entrance? Like, you have no room to maneuver. You can pretty much kiss your ass goodbye. But
you know,
the other thing is that you can scout tunnel without ever looking at it. If you have somebody with seismic in the pocket, tunnel is completely covered.
Yeah, you should have been here for DHB CI. DHB tried the exact same thing, but that time CI did have the focus fire, and their flanking group again got there 30 seconds too late. But this time it wasn't even. The score count wasn't even close. All of their heavies had mostly evaporated by the time those 4 flanking fire starters and 1 locust, interestingly enough, got there. So that didn't quite work out. And then the third match, the exhibition, DHB just turtled in tunnel. They just parked in tunnel, and it was the messiest fight I've seen yet. It really was all sorts of special
They won
effects.
that one though?
No, CI took all 3. CI just had the better focus fire, I think.
Okay, yeah.
DHB was trying some strategies, but I think they need to work on the execution a little bit. But the tunnel was, wow, that was a mess. I mean, I haven't seen one of those since, the 8v8 days, and with 12 mechs on each side in that tunnel, oh.
Yeah, I remember way back in the good old days where, like, 8s, you didn't have restrictions on what you ran. Having to run into, like, we're bringing average drop deck, and there's, like, 8 Atlases in the freaking tunnel.
Oh, man. Oh, that's right. When there were no restrictions. Oh, bringing back all the good memories.
Days, though, because, like...
They were so fun. You could run, you could run into, like, a 12 cicada drop. Like, that was a thing that you would hit in the queue sometimes. In fact, I remember dropping with Lords one time. They just needed me to fill out like a jump sniper group, and it was 12 Highlander 733Cs versus 12 cicadas on Forest Colony. That was the saddest thing I've ever been a part of, but that's the kind of magic that happened.
It's possible, though, like, to pull those games off. I mean, like, if you have the cohesion and use your mobility. Maybe not in the days of jump sniping when it was like odds of getting 1 or 2 shot were pretty good, and you're facing, like you said, guys like the Lords, who in those days, like, missing a shot, what is missing? So
yeah, that was terrible.
But I mean, like, we had a lot of fun in those unrestricted days, like, because we never really went really heavy, So
it's like you guys
mediums.
didn't need it.
It was fun. It was challenging. It kept our skills sharp. And, like, I'd argue in the current 12 queue where you can just meta out, like, okay, these are Timberwolves or Heavies or Hellbringers, whatever, and then you run up against, like, a non-optimal group who's the same weight, like, you're automatically just so far ahead that it's not the best practice.
See, that's one of those things that I've always wanted, that, like, the Community Warfare dropship, I want that in match. I want to be able to bring 4 mechs to a match and then decide... At that time, do I want to be serious? Do I want to be trolly? Do I want to be somewhere in the middle? Because, besides the fact that I don't want to take SRMs ever for fear of getting stuck on Alpine, it's also like, whenever I'm in tryhard mode because we just got stomped by SJR or whoever, we go back in the queue, and then we're facing, Tommy and his 2 friends, and it's like, I feel bad for what I'm about to do to you, but I can't switch out now.
Just use half your weapon groups, it'll be okay.
That is actually a good challenge. Like, 6 people have to sit out of the fight, or you have to pick 2 weapon groups and just get rid of them.
Well, I remember one time, like, we were... Because another thing to remember is that this was back in the days of sync dropping. So you... Like, the times where we would be syncing for a super heavy drop weight, and we come up against, like you said, like Timmy and his 2 friends, or in this case, like 11 friends. We actually would send a lance at a time to do combat.
I mean, there's nothing you can do otherwise, because it's like, you feel bad. It's like, it's no fun for you to just totally steamroll them, and it's no fun for them to just get completely wrecked, so... Yeah, also, just an update, we aren't just totally mindlessly babbling. I am watching. They are finally in lobby now, so I expect we'll drop within 2 or 3 minutes here.
Mm-hmm. And do we have any... They didn't tell you which side they are, hey?
No. I mean, predictions. I've just stopped doing predictions. My prediction is that they're going to go to Ridge and kill each other. That's pretty much how I've seen this play out a million times now, and I'm pretty secure in my guess. Oh, speaking of which, we might as well do a mech bag giveaway. So please type no pants in chat. If you type no pants in chat, no space, no caps, just no pants, you're entered to win a mech bay code. So do that. It's good stuff.
I'm gonna trust you on that one.
I did it last time and it worked. This tool, this little plugin thing, it's amazing. I can set whatever keyword I want, and the keyword I want is no pants.
If I type it, will you disqualify me?
Unfortunately, I don't think I can, but if you win, yeah, I will not give it to you. I've learned that you competitive players seem to just be better at even winning free stuff, like Cavianks just camping the Twitch chat, taking all the mech bays and stuff. So now we gotta do this raffle thing.
Control C, Control V, too strong.
I know, right? These Twitch shooter reflexes are paying off for you guys.
Yeah, digressing a bit back towards our discussion, like what sort of got us into this was like talking about how the middle of this map tends to crunch down. And that's actually something we see on a lot of the maps. There was a reply by one of the map designers that he doesn't understand what we're talking about when there was like a central map feature always seemed to occur, and I was a little disappointed in that. Hopefully it's not necessarily... Oh wait, Band B-17 is deployed?
Yep, they just dropped, so let's
get into this.
And overlay, don't even need babysitting this time. Look at me.
Yeah, but the real question is, did you update the score?
Yes, check that out. God, I'm amazing.
Oh, it just went up, like, right as I asked. Okay, damn.
Alright, so I'm trying to figure out who's on which side right now, but I don't know most of the player names on each team. I'm just looking for, like, the two I do.
I believe Blue is going to be Stratagate Mercor. And they have the south side. So they're the team that's down. They have the south side, so there's not going to be any canyon shenanigans from the team in the lead. And I'd love to tell you what they have. I can see some Timberwolves. Hey, is the drop weight the same for all the matches?
No, so the first and third drop and fifth drop when we have them are Conquest 3333. Skirmish, however, is just 720 tons. So you see a lot of different decks here. Some of them like to go stratified between lights and assaults, and some of them just prefer to pack it up with Timberwolves and Stormcrows. Match hasn't started, so I'm guessing we've got like a disconnect or something that we're waiting for. So, there's the startup noise.
Strata game F5?
Wait, what?
I'm gonna kill myself. Never mind.
Okay, so we got three Stalkers for Marine Mechs. We got 3 Fire Starters, I believe. Storm Crows and Timberwolves.
2 Fire Starters, 2 Storm Crows, like 3 Timberwolves. Oh no, 3 Fire Starters.
Marine Mechs again with Hunchbacks with the small pulse lasers, probably.
Ooh, Pedebra from Stratagame, he's doing a very aggressive scout. He already jumped over the dropship. He's lost about 5% for it. 6%. I'm surprised he didn't do more. Most of the time, you don't actually have to go all the way over, but he should have a good idea exactly.
Oh man, both teams are just going to crash into each other at Ridge. Are you ready for this?
Ooh, Pedebra's going over again.
Oh, what a push. Oh man, I don't even know who to get in on.
Stratagame is coming in. He's down to 68%, dropping fast, and I'm just going to pull up the sidebar, because I won't be able to tell what's happening otherwise.
Yeah. Alright, so we got 1 down for Marine Mechs, 1 down for Stratagame as well, 2 down for Marine Mechs.
2 aside now. Just give our viewers a nice first-person view of all this madness.
God,
3 down for Marine Mechs, 2 down
strike right in the middle of the entire fight!
Specs is coming.
Oh
That's
my
probably
God,
more
what a
friendly
strike!
fire damage than anything.
See these fire starters doing tons of work, going for legs.
Percentages in favor of Marine Mechs, I'd say. They've got, it's 4-4, but Pedebra's down to 63%. Ooh, no, Tommy K and Angry Panda are getting focused out as well. 5-4 Stratagame is pulling this back a little.
Yeah, it looks like Stratagame might be able to pull this out.
Yeah, 4 mechs left for Marine Mechs compared to only 4 mechs dead for Stratagame, and it looks like they're pulling ahead in this. Other than that initial focus fire, it seems like their builds are a little quicker, a little more brawl-oriented, it seems. And they did a better job focus firing. I don't know how much damage that strike did. It looked to be right in the middle of absolutely everything.
I mean, that did so much team damage and regular damage, it wasn't even funny. So it's just 2 fire starters left now for Marine Mechs. And I don't think they're gonna. They're trying to get a little bit of distance, but I don't think it's gonna happen. There are a lot of weak mechs though for strata game.
One interesting choice is that they took the Oxide with the SRMs,
wow.
over those fire starters, and they just do fantastic damage against bigger mechs.
Absolutely, in a 720-ton drop, it's definitely not a bad idea. I mean, the small pulse lasers are brutal, but those rapid-fire SRMs from the Oxide and Hugin can be super effective. Pro Sauce taking down... Oh, and yes, he's got two. He could clutch this. It would be very difficult, almost impossible, but he could manage. He's got two of them down. This Jenner's one shot away from being dead. Oh,
that
and
was
Husker
a snipe
Adama
with those SRMs.
Oh, wow, that was
an absolute
SRMs?
snipe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a double leg SRM snipe from like
Man.
150 meters.
That was impressive. That was a clutch shot right there.
Okay, maybe 100 meters, but still.
Still, that Oxide almost top damage on the team, 346 damage. It was actually very low damage numbers compared to what I was expecting, to be honest.
Well, it was a complete leg fest in there.
It was.
That's the thing about the 5-starter A, and I was going to comment on this, was that in those furballs, you have 130 meter range, but that's often not enough to shoot the focus fire target that you want to hit if it's on the far side. So like you're pumping out the damage on the guy close to you, but as soon as like you get pressured and you have to pull away at all, or like the target's over there, like you may not even notice, but if he's at 200, you're doing like 30% damage, and 200 is almost nothing in terms of range. So I'd love to be able to tell which mechs were which on this end screen, but it doesn't tell me, and PJI please fix. So I'm wondering which one of these are the 5-starters, and like whether they just didn't have the range to get that clutch damage, the same sort of damage that the Oxides and the other SRM mechs were putting out.
Yeah, it was, again, just an amazing brawl there. And that strike, wow, that one airstrike was just brutal. Although they were going down all over the place the whole time, so that was it was pretty messy. I've given you draw privileges on Map Tactic. Want to do a quick recap while I try to give away this mech bay and the good stuff.
Okay. I can do this in about 10 seconds. One team went here. One team went here. There was a firefight.
That is about
that's literally my that's my drop review. Like there was a firefight there. Like I said, maybe the 5-star 9A's lack of range hurt in being able to hit the focus fire targets. Maybe it was just lack of focus fire gunnery, like difference in skill winning out. Bill, you would know the seeds for this if you could.
Yeah, let me get those up really
or...
quick. Okay, so it's 15 and 18. Strata Game is 15. Marine Mechs is 18. And Strata Game just won that last one, right?
Mm-hmm. So
we're 1-1 now.
That might have been a factor. The ELO suggests that Strata Game as a whole maybe have a little bit better gunnery, and that comes to a 4 in a brawl like this, where it's just you gotta land your shots one after the other. You're gonna die. If you don't make them count, then just as a team, you're kind of screwed. So that might have been a factor there. They had better cohesion on the pushover this time.
Definitely.
And I mean, it's actually really impressive because last time they did not have cohesion. They had a massive overmatch, but they just couldn't capitalize on it. And this time they come into an even fight, and they trade blows just completely evenly down the board. It was 4-4, and then they started getting that tempo, that steamroll effect, where your firepower is dropping faster, your focus fire targets are easy, your enemy team is staying alive longer, and at one point they were up like 5 or 6-2, and then those 5-stars actually did a really good job. It was like only 3-1 at the end. And like Bill was saying, 2 of those mediums were legged. The only thing that wasn't legged was an Oxide. Unfortunately, that's the other downside of the 5-star 9A. The range means that you have a real bitch of a time pulling the comeback, because you cannot kite at all. you're always going to be brawling. You're never going to have a range advantage. Like if that had been a Firestarter S with medium pulses, like 250-meter range, then you just sit at 300 on the oxide and you pick it apart. And same deal to those other like SRM Stormcrows. You could potentially, as a really good light pilot, if you control your range when they're light, well, when they're light, it's super easy, but even when they're not light, you can control your range, work them down, and maybe pull a comeback there. And that would have been epic, but A's potential, not so much.
Yeah, it was very difficult. I mean, I think he could have taken the Oxide down. Again, to be honest, that snipe with those SRMs, totally unexpected. And I thought he was going to at least have the Oxide because it was about a tap away. And then a couple of those other mechs had super weak legs. I don't know about the Timberwolf. I feel like the Timberwolf probably would have been a problem at the end there. But it was really close. He could have played that and probably gotten it out if that Oxide hadn't just got that great double leg there. So our next game is going back to Conquest. Not that we changed anything on map tactics, but yeah, that is what happened. So this should be a good one. I think this is the first match that's gone to 3 out of the first week of games. This is going to be the close one.
Actually, I'm going to go back to the mech choice on this one. I find it interesting that Marine mechs brought the Stalker 4Ns. They're fantastic mechs, but they're built around like a 500-600 meter trade engagement. And you'll note, like, rather noticeably that Stratagame Mercor, they were all built around Timberwolves, and those are 10 tons less than a Stalker. They're faster, which means that they can evade more fire. They're packing similar amount of short-range firepower in like those pulse lasers and those SRMs. I'm looking at that, and if I like Firestarter A's range aside, if I had to peg it on one thing that cost Marine mechs, it was the choice of the Stalker 4Ns.
I think you're right that they're just not the way to go when you're not
exists.
poking. I mean, when you're not poking, it's time to probably just commit to a brawl. And it's like you said, Timberwolves are probably honestly better ton for ton in a brawl than a Stalker is. The Stalker's just, possibly the best poking mech in the game, but sure it can tank, but up close, I think you're just wasting DPS that you could have with some other mechs or extra speed or something else. I think a less stratified drop deck would have served them better, just hunting a couple of those Stormcrows or Hunchbacks up to Timberwolves instead. So, looks like they are forming lobby now, so probably about 3 or 4 minutes to drop time. I guess this is a good time to plug all of the things. Smurfies, for anybody that doesn't know that, I assume that everybody's watching the stream right now probably knows what Smurfies is, but if you don't, you should totally go there. It's the best reference ever. You can build your mechs and all that good stuff. Most of us players, I sure wouldn't own half the mechs I do if I couldn't build it on that website, so that's good. G-Man from SJR, same unit as Siri here, has a site called MetaMex, and you should totally check it out. It's a great reference for builds. Has tier lists for what's effective, what's not, and even if you don't like the builds as they are, they're a great starting point. They just follow all the rules of what makes a good mech. Ammo distribution, armor distribution, hardpoint choices, all of those things. He really knows how to take advantage of that. So definitely check that out. And of course, MechWarrior Online League Network, your source for all things competitive. That's what you're watching right now, but you should check out MWOLN.com for upcoming matches and replays and whatever else the hell we have on there.
I'd like to correct you. I am from the People's Itty Bitty Kitty Action Committee, so yeah.
They poached you, did they? Their competitive team
they poached me from across games.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in MechWarrior Online forever. Loving your World of Tanks, huh?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Well, I gotta know, what was it? Is it just burnout, or?
Bit of column A, bit of column B, bit of column C. Column A being burnout, column B being game balance, comp C being just I I find more tactical depth in World of Tanks, and that's the one thing that's always appealed to me in games. And the trend or game balance trend to just shorter and shorter kill times and like less maneuver, more ball up and smash, as we're seeing, was little unappealing to me. But I'm happy to be here and cast and hopefully get, a bit of a growth back towards what I'd like to see, whether it happens.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, honestly, I feel like the biggest change we've had in terms of how the game plays out is 12v12. That just made it so, back in the day, I remember running with another awesome pilot, and that's all we did was like awesome 9Ms and pretty babies, and we could just tear people up. It was great. Just the two of us as a flanking squad, we could just eat teams alive. Nowadays, you try going around back of a team, even with a full lance, you're totally screwed. By the time you start eating into them, some of them turn around, they shift off, and you're dead. It's just a lot harder to make a big difference, and part of that's good, I guess. The super competitive players can't just totally carry things, but it does make it a little less fun, especially on the smaller maps, in my opinion. Like Tourmaline and stuff like that, that's fine. Alpine, fine, built for 12v12, but Forest Colony, way too cramped.
I mean, I remember, like, I had a similar experience as you. You were in the Awesome. I was, like, 10 tons down. I was running a pair of Cataphract 1Xs.
Oh, I love those.
With 5 large lasers. We'd, like, hunt around the battlefield for a target, like, melt them off, like, 2 volleys each, and then get the hell out before we could cool off for, like, the next minute. But
yeah, good times. Real good times. Still waiting on them in lobby.
Getting ready.
Yeah.
I am going to step away. I need to get some water just really quick. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Now that Siri's gone, we're just going to talk shit about Siri. Or not, because I don't have anything to say, unfortunately. So I guess it's probably time to give away another Mech Bay. So, everybody, type, I don't know. I want to do no pants, but I feel like that will screw up the giveaway thing. Siri, what should people type in chat to win a free Mech Bay? What's it going to be? What's the keyword? Can be anything. You can make this a spelling contest if you really wanted to.
Spelling context, eh? No, I was gonna make a World of Tanks joke, but let's not do that. Let's go with... Back in the day, we had a period where... a couple periods, actually, where Lerms were overbuffed to hell. And partially... Oh, match.
Oh, you're right. We'll do this after the match. So, game 3, here we go, launching into Conquest. Overlay is going down. Oh my god, I am so hungover and hungry.
Hungover, not hungry. Went to IHOP.
Oh god, I would kill for some IHOP right now.
Chicken and bacon crepe.
Alright, so I believe Marine Mechs is going to be on the south side this time, and Stratagame is going to be back on the north.
I see you, Direwolf.
And a Timberwolf. Ooh, an Atlas, a Direwolf, and a Stalker for Marine Mechs. Pretty diverse. I think 3 Timberwolves.
And yeah, they brought a Stalker 4N. Don't know how that's...
Oh, a Thunderbolt and 2 Timberwolves. Again with the Hunchback 4Ps and a Stormcrow. And
again,
the
with
3
the
5
5-star
stars.
9As.
Yep. In the meantime, Stratagames...
Pedebra looks to be the lead scout for Stratagame. He's gotten up on that ridge. Tried to get that intel every single game. This time he's doing it a bit better. He's jumping from his own side of the ridge, not overexposing. Still taking a bit of damage from like those long-range builds, but not as much as he did last game. So
Stratagame's getting formed up in their pocket. They've got 2 Atlas DDCs and a Direwolf, some Timberwolves, a Griffin, Storm Crows, and some other stuff. I believe they're going to try to push over Ridge, but Marine Mechs has shifted to the low side of Dropship, so this is a different place they're setting up for this push.
yeah, they're down in the bowl. This is better for their Stalker 4N, and they've only brought one here, but it'll give him like 400 meters that he's using right now to lay into that Atlas coming in, and they're going for his legs, actually.
That is a smart choice. Honestly, everybody skimps on Atlas legs, so let's go into their other Atlas, Cora Free.
But he's legged, but he's not down, and now like the other Atlases for Stratagame, they're getting in there, and
Corfy's legged in his Atlas, and his right leg is almost gone, and he's down. Very nice strategy, legging those Atlases. Marine Mech's pushing, or receiving this push quite well.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Strat Mercury, because they're already down 3 with 3 others dropping fast, and they've only killed 1 with actually a lot of spread damage going around on this push-in.
Yep, the Direwolf is getting there, but he's getting hit from the back by one of those fire starters, and I believe he's gonna, yeah, he's legged. Those legs on the assaults, they did a good job focusing that. Now our score is, there's only 4 left for Stratagame, and there are 6 left for Marine Mechs. Let's watch this get finished off.
Still plausible, but everything is decently healthy except for mechanics, and I can't see where he is. He's in the Wolverine 6K, he's fighting a Hunchback. He's still got his Power Fist, though, so he's quite a force to be... Oh, no, both. Looks like his back torso just got shot out. Fedekin's Oxide is still going around. There's Stormcrow, Hunchback, Firestarter 9A, Firestarter 9S, Thunderbolt 5SS left up for Marine Mechs against just a pair of 9Ss, and now just the one. But Deborah, their lead scout, is the only one left.
And the leg is gone. And that is going to do it. Marine Mechs takes the win.
Our first split decision here. And I mean, I can't fault Stratagame in terms of like their scouting. Pedebra did a good job getting up on that ridge, getting jump jets. He should have seen exactly where Marine Mechs was set up. Now, pushing down into that bowl, as like this demonstrates, is a very, very different kettle of fish than pushing straight over the ridge into the just mechs on the other side. There, you're immediately within 200. You can bring your SRMs to bear. Here, at the bottom of that, and oh shoot, I never went in first person, so I can't see the damage scores.
Oh, I can. I'm looking, and it's pretty much spread evenly for Marine Mechs, and on a whole, they did about 125 to 150% as much damage as Stratagame Mercor. There's, not a bad spread.
Can you tell me how much Bandit did?
Bandit actually only did 215, and he was almost the lowest on their team. Their top player from Marine Mechs got...
Here's the factor, though. Bandit was one of the early guys focused out, but he did 215, like you said, and that's because he was in the 4N with the longer approach angle down to this bowl. That's way better than he did the previous games. Previous games, using the triple stalker 4N last game where it was a close in brawl, he only, I think, got like 70 or 80 out. So that right there in itself is a good adjustment for Marine Mechs to make their style work better. So,
yeah, that was a
Twinkie Overlord just right now in chat says, "Surprised I haven't seen any teams try to pull off a firing line by the tail of the plane. Best counter of the brawl push."
Yeah,
he's gonna be in for it. He's gonna be like, "Oh my god, called it in like 2 minutes." So.
We're going to say that Twinkie is psychic is what you need to type for a mech bay.
Okay. Okay. We'll go with that. I was trying to work towards Learnpocalypse, but
but this one I think Twinkie wins this one. Twinkie did it right here. So, all right, everybody's all right, so that's good. I'm going to get up map tactics here. Wasn't a whole lot to draw, but yeah, going for the legs on those Atlases, I think that was a great choice. I think that allowed them to just avoid doing a ton of spread damage, which is what those Atlases is there to do. So it was very refreshing to see a very nice push reception, sort of like Eisengrim against Phoenix Company.
I mean, like, key thing to that is that you get the firing line, it's a wide arc, you have just, you're not blocking any of your own shots when you come in, and the first person to crest is an obvious focus fire target. And it's interesting to note that they were able to go after the Atlas's legs, because that means that he kind of over crested on his approach, right? Because normally,
Yeah, the Atlases definitely were in the front.
If he does a perfect approach, or if they had swung down like into the city, then it would have been like all torso damage and stuff and such coming out. So
Yeah, it was. They definitely could have done better with those lead mechs, I think. But I think they were expecting to, slam in there, turn left, turn right, spread a bunch of damage around. I don't think they were expecting the legs there, and that cost them a little bit. But definitely a good brawl from both teams. I just think that Marine Mech set up a successful defense line there, and there wasn't a whole lot Stratagame could do.
So the winner of this one is going on to face Imperial, you said.
Yes, so it's going to be...
Wow, that's kind of bad luck.
I think, No, Eisengrim is going on to face Imperial.
Okay.
No, their Marine Mech is going on to face you guys. So, huge difference.
Wait, Pepcat plays MWO?
Who?
People's Itty Bitty Kitty Action Committee. No, I'm messing with you. Just because I haven't, like you said, I haven't been doing active things with the comp side of SJR in quite a while, like 8 months.
Wow, but yeah, so SJR versus Marine Mechs next week, and we don't know who the losers bracket is all facing because we need the second week of matches to be done before the loser bracket starts, so next week is just going to be the top 8 seeds against the winners of this week's matches. So be sure to tune in for those. We're going to have more stuff to give away. Speaking of which, I'm going to remember this right now and
Yes?
I'm trying to get this award doled out here. But
one thing you forgot to plug, Bill.
oh,
We are the Outreach HPG admin mod casting team.
oh my god, you're right.
So yeah, if you want to source for news for MWO, if you want just discussion, if you want to complain about the latest thing is OP and pay to win and oh my god, accusations, please don't. It pisses us off because we have to go moderate shit when you guys step over the line. But if you want all of that, come visit reddit/r/outreachhpg. It was started by Sirius Table, first of his name, all praise be unto him, and now Bill and I and Zeus and Fire Eyes kind of around, but busy with life, are the ones running it, so come for your daily dose of moderated goodness, and stay for the shit posting.
Yeah, the shit posting is key there, because, those threads that you just wander into and you're like, I should nuke this. Every comment is abrasive. I should just get rid of all of it. But, oh, man. Yeah, please don't be that kind of a poster. I'll give you a mech bay if you're not that kind of a poster. Well, I lied. I probably won't. There are too many people that behave. Okay.
You got anything else to
mech
say
bay code.
before we sign off?
Not really. Just giving this last mech bay code away here. So quick recap on how these matches went. Want to do the quick overview while I finish this off. The first match was Marine Mechs, right? That was the one where they flanked around the back?
Correct.
Yeah, okay, so first match was straight hill push by Stratagame. Marine Mech sent like 4 or 5 guys around back to flank. They didn't make it quite in time. They were about 30 seconds behind the main brawl, but Marine Mechs held in there long enough and received the push well enough that they did end up winning that one by, I think it was 2 or 3 mechs there. Really good brawl, and they pulled it out in the end with that flanking squad. Second match went to Stratagame. It was both teams straight over the top of the ridge, big chaotic brawl, tons of strikes, no clue what was going on, and as Siri said, the deciding factor there might have been Marine Mech's choices of stalkers instead of something a little more well-suited to brawly environments. And then, of course, this third match, Marine Mech set up below the tail of dropship. Strata game pushed on him. Marine Mechs did a great job focusing down those legs on the assaults, and that was about it. It was a good series of matches. Thank you to both teams for playing, and thank you, Bandit, for keeping in contact and letting me know what was going on. Any last shout-outs?
Thank you, Bill, for you stepping up when I was delayed by traffic, and helping out on this one as well.
And thank you for joining me. Alright guys, well I think that's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to tune in for next week's matches. We'll be casting more Arhad, more Major League Mech Warriors. So, thanks, and signing off.